Evening, Valerie Ling here. Hi, how you going? I'm Valerie. I live in Sydney. I like to talk about keeping life simple so that we've got the fuel to do the things that are meaningful. Keeping life simple so that we can do the things that are meaningful. I got off from a 2 hour conversation today that at the end of the conversation, the person asked me, do you feel good about the conversation we had? And I said, for the most part, some of it was like sitting in the dentist's chair getting things pulled apart because essentially it was a full audit um, of how systematized things are in, well, largely my business, I suppose. Although when I got off the 2 hour call, I thought someone needs to do this for my whole, like my home, my entire way that I do life. And it was really painful because when you go through every single layer and process in your work life, you actually just realize how much waste and how many gaps there still are, right? It's a little bit like trying to fix things with tools that are clunky and outdated and really unnecessary. And so the whole message of automation is a fantastic message. It's worth going through the processes to find out how you can simplify it. But there is a difference from taking everything lock, stock, and barrel and actually getting cluttered and actually more bogged down than where you were before. And essentially, it's because lots of automations have come from, I guess, hybrids of one another. So if you actually think about how things have evolved, apps get better and better and better. And before you know it, you've got a bunch of things that you're using and relying on that probably you don't even need to be there. I've been reading a book called Digital Minimalization by Cal Newport. Really, any of the books by Cal Newport is probably quite worth a read. Basically, he's about deep diving, deep focus, keeping things simple. I think he even has a book for students. Have not read that one yet, but read a few of his other ones. And what I like about the message of what he has in his book is basically the idea that we can go cold turkey from the digital world is ridiculous. And I agree with that for a few reasons. I think that it puts you on another planet if you don't know how to relate or integrate or just embrace the digital world. You pretty much are living on another planet right now. So unless you want to be completely displaced from where everybody is, we got to embrace it. There goes Teddy, my dog, barking at no doubt another dog that is going for a walk. Hopefully, you can still hear me. And that, so the idea being that there's no point saying go cold turkey, right? It's like saying throw the dictionary off, or forget grammar, or forget syntax, or hey, how about you just get rid of your fridge now? There's no point. We've evolved to a point where it's quite integrated, and things are actually quite fantastically useful. And what he actually really talks about is when you take things out of your world digitally, whether they're apps or things on your desktop or things that you're using, I suppose digital as well as technological. The idea is to then sit back and ask yourself a few questions. Number one, uh, do you actually miss it? Does it actually hamper you not having that particular app there? So I will confess, I got rid of the Facebook app completely. It does annoy me that I am far less efficient now that they seem to have built it so that you can't live without it. Every time I got to post something on my story feed, the pictures like all reversed and topsy turvy, and you can't fix it. Apparently, the app is efficient. So, I digress. But number one, um, is it useful, right? So are you finding that you're missing it because it actually does contribute to efficiency in your world? The second point, which I actually really, really, really love, and I think it's a conversation that is missing when we talk about, digital decluttering, is, what values in your life and does it support? So, for example, if family is a really important value, and there are a couple of apps or a couple of mediums that are facilitating that, particularly now we can't really see our family. then those are the apps to keep, or those are the platforms or technologies or digital things, elements that you want to keep, right? So that's the second thing. What supports your values? And the third thing to ask is, even if it supports your values, right? Even if it supports your values, is it the most simplified and efficient way of doing that for your context? Right. So if you have a lot of relatives that are living overseas, then probably a platform where you can have group chats would be a highly valuable thing. However, if most of your family is local and they're within your COVID bubble and you're able to see them, then possibly the stream of things that are coming through your chat messages may actually be deterring you from your value of connecting with them, and it's actually cluttering life. I really like that three-step process in thinking, so that we don't really demonize technology, and we don't look at it in judgment. We don't look at others in judgment. Oh, you're spending that much time on Facebook, or oh, you're using so much of time on Instagram or Snapchat or TikTok or LinkedIn or whatever new thing that comes up. But rather, we ask ourselves the three questions, right? Number one, does it actually aid in our efficiency? Right. Number two, is it linked to our values? Is it supporting the values and the things that are important to us? And number three, is it the most simplified and efficient expression of to support the values and the quality of your life? So I'll leave you with that. I'd love to know what you can't do without and what you think it's time to say bye bye to. Take care. See you later.